It's me the fuck off. Hey damn, shit, do something. Shit, what the fuck it was? Oh, it's all fuck off. Chill.
But there is a downside to all this, as with each swing of the weapon, you will drain a portion of your health, leaving a red portion on your health bar. So if this red health builds up and you take a hit, there's a high chance of you carting. But should you not take a hit and continuously attack a monster, after a certain amount of hits, you'll be healed for the health that the True Dragonbane Awakening drained from you. So there's a real risk-reward factor there. This health drain can be slightly countered with the health gen augmentation though. But that is the risky greatsword anti-Elatrion build I'd recommend. But of course, every build out there has pros and cons. Much like the other risky builds in this series, the biggest pro for this build is its high elemental damage. But with the greatsword, it also has high raw damage as well. And this combined together means that you should be able to easily power down Elatrion and finish the hunt. On top of that, this build comes with a few quality of life skills that benefit the greatsword, including focus, health boost, blight resistance, evade window, and more. And the final pro is the True Dragonbane Awakening set, providing you a ton of DPS buffs, adding to your overall DPS. But unfortunately this build has cons. The two biggest cons with this build are, of course, as always when you're using the Safi set, the health drain aspect of True Dragonbane Awakening, which can leave you at risk of fainting. And the other con is, again, as we are using a PR weapon, we sometimes have sharpness issues with this build. But regardless, using this build you're normally able to power down the monster at least once per phase and finish the hunt quite effectively. If you're having trouble powering down a Elatrion, maybe go for the legs first before focusing on the head. That way you'll quite easy to craft. It doesn't come down to draining your health, making it slightly more We're also going to be making use of the Frostcraft set bonus found on the Velkhana armor, as because Elatrion moves around so much, it means that we're going to be sheathing the weapon quite often, allowing for the Frostcraft buff to replenish itself quite often. So for this build you'll need the Rhineguard Helm Beta, Rhineguard Mel Beta, Rhineguard Band Braces Beta, Rhineguard Coil Beta, and the Brachydium Greaves Beta. I'm also using a Frost Charm 5, as I'm going to be using an ice weapon, and for my weapon I'm using a second remember to also swap out the Frost Charm to match whatever new element you are using, and as for the specialist tools, as always, these are down to personal preference. So when it comes to the jewels, you've got a fair few to play around with. Firstly, I've gone through charge jewels for the focus skill, vitality jewels for the health boost, a frost jewel to max out the ice attack, just we're using a different element, we will replace the frost jewel to match whatever new element you were using.
Lay down.
Jewels and resistor jewels for the light resistance skill. As for the jewels on our mantles, again, I've gone for maintenance and protection jewels. So if you don't like that here, you should have a build with health 150 stamina, which will be 200 health and 150 stamina when you're on a hunt for your relevant consumables. You have a raw attack of 1,368 with a little bit of perfect sharpness. You have 35% basic fatigue, which can be 85% when you're attacking max weakness and continuous full touch per attack hurt. It would have been nice to get this higher if you had to keep it like this, but with this build I feel more comfortable with like this. You have an ice elemental rating of 830, give an OD of 1007, and a strong ice
Oh, good.
First of all, you have ice attack at level 6, ice attack increases the ice weight and damage of the build. Of course, when you use this element, you replace this with whatever new element you want to use. Higher level 6 increases the base ability of this build. You have health reduction, resistance level 3, weakness level 1, focus level 3, and shield level 3. Shield is a skill that allows you to shield their weapon. Very handy to make sure, especially on that level.
Oh, sure, there's niggas just standing right there and wait, right? Sure. I'm all down with summoning.
This provides a quick sheet, and how the electron fight works, i.e. the monster moving around so much, it means that we can really benefit from the cross grass skill. So there we have it, so you can the electron field our way. But even this comes with pros and cons. If it was close to the field,
Oh, sure.
output, thanks to
Fuck, I get hit with. That shit didn't kill me in one shot. Oh, y'all really is sitting there sticking with each other, fucking ass hugging each other. And I'm topping the leaderboard. These niggas are running too damn much from me. Oh, sure. Can you sit down somewhere? Cause I'm not about to watch you and actually play the fucking game, dude. Come on, do something. Oh, sure, he got the shut off. Oh, sure. Fucking assholes and using fucking retarded ass guns. Oh my god, seriously? This nigga just running around yelling, right? Oh, sure. Stop. Nigga, fuck off. Like, seriously. Oh, sure. Start with on the shit, bro. Like, we can't even enjoy shit. Oh, sure. Sure. Funny part about it, I'm not even using none of the weapons I use. Oh, great. And you see the nigga right behind me shooting me. You couldn't kill his ass. Oh, my God. Oh, great. All I'm just using that damn super. Oh, sure. Now I'm gonna switch my shit. I know I'm about to get rid of. Let's go with this. I want to show you something.
Despite how it feels when you're running around with your weapon drawn, Greatsword is actually one of the most mobile weapons in the game. You should never be walking around with your sword out. You should run around until you have an opportunity, then do an unsheath attack, and immediately sheath your sword again to repeat the process. Since you're sprinting around constantly, Marathon Runner and Stamina Surge are both okay pickups. I wouldn't go out of my way for either of these skills, but they can be reasonable to incorporate if you have the ability. Greatsword can also guard, but you should only do so in emergencies. Guarding absolutely destroys your weapon's sharpness, and you'll still take chip damage. So only do it if you absolutely have to. If you're starting a new character with the Iceborne expansion installed, you will have access to the Guardian Armor Alpha Plus set at character creation. If you're coming back to a previous character, you can talk to the feline attendant in your room and claim add-on bonuses to get the set for free. If you don't have Iceborne installed, you can still gain access to this set. It's just called the Defender Alpha set instead. Simply head to the armory in Astera and purchase the Defender Armor set for a total of 1,500 Zenny. 1,500 Zenny is a paltry sum, and you should have enough after your first few required hunts. Purchase this set as soon as possible. The Guardian Armor Alpha Plus and Defender Alpha set are the recommended sets for all of low rank. The armor skills are very defensive in nature, meaning you will have very little difficulty surviving every hunt in low rank. The individual skills are not overly useful for various weapon types, it's more of a general purpose set, but because it is a high rank armor set, its defensive values are so high that it outclasses all your other options in low rank. Equip either the Defender Alpha or Guardian Alpha Plus armor sets, and don't worry about armor until we hit high rank. Then you can consider some very optional customization upgrades. You'll start off with an item box full of generic iron weapons. These are fine for getting you started, but you'll want to upgrade very quickly to the new Defender line. Pick your weapon of choice and equip it here. Low rank weapon progression is extremely simple with the new Defender weapons. The priority is to forge a Defender weapon as soon as possible. Start by accepting the assigned quest for Jagras of the Ancient Forest.
Once you're in the ancient forest, prioritize looking for mining notes. You'll need a single iron ore. Once you have it, complete the quest by hunting 7 Jagras and then return to Astera. Make sure to carve these Jagras, just in case you ever need their materials. Now head to the blacksmith, select forge, then weapons, and finally great swords. Choose to forge the Defender Greatsword 1 by using an iron ore and 600 zenny. Equip this immediately. You won't need to worry about changing your gear for the rest of low and high rank. Simply upgrade this weapon when you're told to in the gun. Now that you're outfitted with an overpowered weapon, continue with your next assigned quests. Complete a Kestodon kerfuffle by hunting 3 male and 5 female Kestodons. Now return to the field team leader and you'll be tasked with hunting a Great Jagras immediately. This should be no problem with your new Guardian Armor and Defender weapon. Once the hunt is complete, return to Astera. Follow your instructions and talk to the citizens of Astera. Then return to the ancient forest in expedition mode. Head to the camp and you'll encounter a Kulu Yaku. Hunt this immediately in expedition mode. Your Defender weapon should make short work of it. Kulu Yaku's Kulu Vambraces have a skill called Pro Transporter. Throughout the course of the game, you'll get a few optional quests where you have to deliver items such as wyvern eggs. Pro Transporter increases your movement speed while carrying these large items. You can forge the Kulu Vambraces and equip them whenever you have to do one of these quests. You should continue to use the Guardian or Defender Vambraces for every other quest. After you return to Astera, talk to the citizens around. You'll get the assigned quest for Urgent Pookie Pookie Hunt. Accept this quest and hunt Pookie Pookie.
Oh, seriously, a fucking shotgun user?
Pookie Pookie's equipment offerings are pretty lackluster for you, but you can get some nice upgrades for your Palico. Palicos don't deal a lot of damage, but they are decent at inflicting negative statuses on monsters. Poison is usually what I recommend, but there are a few paralysis options that become available shortly. Paralysis is a nice option if you're using a weapon that deals poison damage. Basically for Palico weapons it kind of comes down to this. Pick a status weapon, because your Palico won't ever be dealing a ton of damage throughout hunts, and you can personally benefit from the status. You can build a Feline Pookie Bow, which will be a damage increase, and give your Palico the ability to poison monsters. This will be a very strong option for your Palico's early game damage output. Forge and equip this if you can build it after your first mandatory hunt with Pookie Pookie. Most of the armor offerings for Palicos are simply linear armor upgrades as you hunt stronger and stronger monsters. Realistically, your Palico's armor isn't overly impactful. You can upgrade it whenever you see fit, or if you find something that you like the look of. Building one set throughout each of the ranks is usually more than acceptable. If you have any extra materials from Pookie Pookie, you can go ahead and forge the Feline Pookie Hood and Feline Pookie Mantle and equip them right away. This should be all the Palico gear you need for low rank. Back on track after your hunt, talk to everyone around Astera again, and then accept the best kind of quest. If you want, you can hunt this first Rathian that you see in hopes of getting a Rathian Spike. You can use this to build a Feline Rathian Rapier. This is an extremely minor upgrade to your Palico's damage output compared to the Feline Pookie Bow, so feel free to skip this. Otherwise, simply continue along with the quest until you find Barrel. Hunt it, then watch the cutscenes and return to Astera. Now accept the next assigned quest, Sinister Shadows of the Swamp. Here, follow the researcher's tracks until you find Juratotus in the mud pit. Hunt this Juratotus, and then return to Astera. Talk to Astera's citizens, and you'll be given the Gilly Mantle Specialized Tool. You can equip this onto your loadout if you want, but it will only be useful during certain quests, like gathering herbivores. Your Palico has the ability to get a few custom gadgets, but for the purposes of this guide, I'm going to suggest you just stay with the default Bigger Wasp Spray. The Bigger Wasp Spray is actually a very strong option for the entirety of the game and requires zero investment on your end, so feel free to stick with it. It's the only Palico gadget that I personally use. Now talk to the citizens of Astera again and accept Flying Sparks and Toby Kadachi. Hunt Toby Kadachi in the ancient forest and then return to Astera. Now speak to the chief botanist and you'll gain access to the ancient tree for growing crafting materials. You'll want to pick materials that you'll use frequently, like honey, and fertilize it to increase your yields. After every quest, the ancient tree will generate the items that you've selected. When you're using fertilizer, you'll get a chance of getting a rare material called the Great Hornfly from the ancient tree's harvest box. This will likely take you at least a few quests before you finally get one. Once you get a Great Hornfly, you'll gain access to a new weapon option for your Palico. You can forge a Kitty of the Valley Rod using a Great Hornfly. This is a paralysis weapon and a reasonable alternative to the Feline Pookie Bow or Rathian Rapier. Use whichever weapon you prefer. remember at this point. Back on track, accept the quest, the encroaching Anjanath. Hunt Anjanath in the ancient forest. Once you've hunted and carved it, you should have received at least one Anjanath scale. If you're extremely unlucky and did not get one Anjanath scale, you can resort to the optional 4-star quest, One Hell of a Sinus Infection, until you get access to a single Anjanath scale. Once you have one, head to the blacksmith and use it to upgrade your defender weapon to the 2nd tier. Now follow the instructions in Astera and accept the quest form, one for the history books. This is a large set-piece battle and should be completed without very much input from you at all. Afterwards, you'll get some cutscenes and be sent back to Astera. After talking with the commander, you'll be given the Health Booster Specialized Tool. This is the first specialized tool that gives you a combat advantage, and as such, you should equip it and use it frequently. Now you'll be tasked with an expedition into the Great Ravine. This will lead you into the 3rd Fleet's research base. Afterwards, go into an expedition into the Coral Highlands. Complete the tasks here, and then return to the research base. You'll be given the Glider Mantle Specialized Tool for free here. This can be fun to use, but generally the Health Booster is a significantly more impactful option while you're hunting monsters. You can use the Glider Mantle if you prefer it. You should also talk to the Elder Melder now, and you'll be given the Defense Charm 1 for free. You should equip this now, because it was free after all, and you don't have a charm yet. The first set of charms become available here to craft at the blacksmith. You should consider your charm a way to gain a desirable skill that you want to incorporate into your build. There will be several suggestions for charms in high and master rank. For now, just equip the Defense Charm 1 and don't think too much about it. These first few charms aren't overly impactful for most weapon types, and most of the superior ones will become available in high rank. Now talk to everyone in the research base and accept the assigned quest for looting problems. After hunting Palumu, return to the research base. When you're ready, talk to the 3rd Fleet Master and descend into the Rockville using the airship. Follow the directions given, and you'll eventually have to hunt a Rataban. After the hunt is over, return to the research base. Talk to the 3rd Fleet Master again, and choose to descend to the bottom of the Vale. After the cutscene, you'll be given a new assigned quest, except Legiona, Embodiment of Elegance. Once you've hunted Legiona, return to the research base. Now descend into the Battlefield Vale. Follow the handlers through the Rotten Vale, and eventually you'll encounter Odegaron. Hunt it, and then watch the cutscenes. Talk to all of the citizens in Astera. Make absolutely sure to talk to the field team leader, as he will supply you with the Vitality Mantle Specialized Tool. You only have one specialized tool slot. It's a toss-up whether you will prefer the Vitality Mantle or the Health Booster. Either of these will be a fine combat option. Make your choice, and continue onwards. You'll be tasked with finding a first Wyvernian in the ancient forest. Head there now in an expedition. You'll want to head to the very top of the forest to find Rathalos' nest. On the way to the top, you'll encounter the first Wyvernian. You'll be tasked with facing off against Rathalos and then Diablos. Rathalos is here now, so go ahead and take it out. Then return to Astera and accept the next assigned quest, Horned Tyrant Below the Sands, and face off against Diablos. After both of these hunts, you'll return to Astera. Do the rounds, speaking to everyone again. The provision stockpile will now be selling power charms and armor charms. These provide a flat attack and armor increase just for holding them in your inventory. You'll want to purchase both of these charms as soon as possible. The power charm is 36,000 Zenny, and the armor charm is 24,000 Zenny. You should prioritize the power charm here. If you want, you can do some easy optional quests here to farm Zenny. You can crush Great Jagras over and over and simply sell all the parts until you have enough money to buy them both. Once you have both the power charm and armor charm, keep them in your inventory for the rest of the game. Now you can continue onwards. Speak to the handler and accept the final assigned quest for low rank, a colossal task. All you need to focus on in this first part is destroying the magma cores. Zora Magdaros will repel Nergigante on his own. In the second phase, simply run laps between the cannons, firing them as the AI hunters and your Palico buddy load them up for you. You should win this without much effort at all. Just don't miss too many cannon shots. After this hunt, you'll have completed low rank. You'll be rewarded with a commendation. This gates off the 3rd tier of the Defender weapons. You should upgrade your Defender weapon using this commendation right away. If you want additional Defender weapons, you can get extra accommodations by completing the Zora Magdros optional quest called Left Quite the Impression. This quest cycles in and out of rotation and is only available for a limited time. You'll have 2 quests before it leaves again. You can also get additional commendations from the optional quest, Gone in a Flash, to hunt Kirin. This is available via the quest chain for the botanists and requires capturing several monsters as you work your way through the quest line. You only need 1 commendation unless you're actively switching weapons. After Zora Magdros has been repelled, talk to the citizens of Astera. You'll be given a task to investigate Wildspire Wastes. Here you'll encounter a deceptively strong Pookie Pookie. This is actually a high-rank Pookie Pookie, and once you've completed the hunt, you'll be promoted and able to tackle high-rank content. Just like before in low rank, high-rank Pookie Pookie's gear is not overly useful for yourself, but it's a good choice for your Palico. If you prefer poison to paralysis on your Palico and were awarded with a Pookie Pookie sack plus from your high-rank Pookie Pookie hunt, you can use it to forge a Feline Pookie Bow Alpha. Then if you have the required materials, you can forge the Feline Pookie Hood Alpha and Feline Pookie Mantle Alpha to get your feline friends situated for high rank. But now, it's time to tackle high rank for real. High-rank equipment progression continues to be simple if you choose to keep it simple. For weapons, the Defender line will continue to be your best option in most cases, and the upgrades are all impactful. Armor sets are much more fluid this time around. The Guardian and Defender armor sets stop being the definitive best option in high rank, but are still strong options if you do not want to grind. If you only want to do the mandatory story content to push into Iceborne as quickly as possible, there is really no reason to hunt extra monsters at this time. Simply stick with the Guardian or Defender armor sets and upgrade them using armor spheres as new upgrade levels become available. These sets are easily strong enough to get you through high rank. I would strongly recommend avoiding any grinding for high rank armor sets and instead focus on gathering materials for charms if you want to spend longer in high rank. I will be providing some options for customization for high rank which you can opt to forge.
I don't know why my donuts are still aiming.
Armor upgrades until you push through to Pink Rathian and upgrade the Defender weapon to the next tier, as it will just make farming faster. If you'd like to spend more time in high rank, you'll have several options for alternative armor upgrades. Just be aware that every armor set that you build will become obsolete, as master rank armor is simply better across the board. Spending additional time in high rank to gather materials, consumable items, or do optional quests for extra specialized tools can be worth the time, but they can also be returned to at any time. Coming back with master rank weapons and armor will trivialize any challenge that's
sure. Alright, good.
Introduces alpha and beta versions of armor. These sets differ in that the alpha version has more skills than the beta version, but the beta versions have decoration slots which you can insert decorations for customization. Decorations are randomized, and there is no way to know exactly what you'll get outside of a handful of decorations that are guaranteed because they are given to you outright, or are rewards from optional quests. For armor, the short answer is if you have very few or undesirable decorations, forge the alpha version. If you have strong decorations, you'll want to forge the beta version. Some armor pieces have terrible skills on the alpha version, which makes the beta version better across the board, even if you lack desirable skills from decorations. Decorations have various tiers, from level 1 to level 4. You won't see level 4 until master rank, and 1 is easily the most common type of decoration. You should start your high rank adventure by talking to the second fleet master in the smithy. You'll be given a free attack tool 1. You should insert this into all of your gear setups, as it provides a small but impactful attack boost. The way damage numbers work in Monster Hunter is a little confusing, so +3 attack from the attack boost skill might seem unimpactful if you're using something like a hammer or a greatsword, but that's not the whole story. Most weapons have largely inflated damage numbers and instead have a hidden true raw value which is significantly lower. The 3 attack from this decoration is considered true raw damage, and therefore much stronger than it may appear for many weapon types. Socket this decoration into every one of your sets. Conveniently, you have 2 open level 1 decoration slots in the Guardian and Defender sets, so just place it to one of those pieces. You'll notice immediately in high rank that you'll have no optional quests besides for Pookie Pookie. To gain access to optional quests, you'll need to use Expedition Mode. Once you sight a monster in high rank, you should gain access to a repeatable optional quest to hunt that monster. Your immediate goal, however, will be to investigate tracks for a Rathian subspecies. There is no set way to progress the story here, and you can do this as quickly or as slowly as you choose. You should start by going on an expedition into Wildspire Wastes and entering Area 2. This forested area proved quite lucrative for these Rathian tracks. Try and spot any monsters in Wildspire Waste to gain access to additional optional quests while you're here. Rathian tracks show up in all areas, so feel free to run around all the areas to sight all the various types of monsters.
Oh, sure. It hit his shoulder. That was supposed to be a headshot. They're kind of weak, though. I'm laying back. I ain't even really playing.
For level 2 focus on your foot slot. You'll lose some defensive skills from the Guardian armor, but focus is very nice to have on your greatsword. You can finish out level 3 focus by picking up the Kestodon guards. Just hunt some Kestodons and gather from bone piles in high rank to forge these. Unfortunately, at this point, there isn't a lot of greatsword specific options otherwise. You can hunt Kulu Yaku for the Kulu Male Alpha and the Kulu Headpiece Alpha if you want, but otherwise you should just stay with your Guardian set for now and move on.
Oh my god, seriously?
Rathian tracks or hunting easy monsters until you've progressed at least 50% of the way to completion. Once you have, return to Astera. Speak to the Chief Ecologist and you'll be given the assigned quest, Tickled Pink. Complete this quest by hunting an Anjanath in Wildspire Wastes. Once you're done, return to Astera and speak to the citizens for various additional requests and optional quests. You can also speak to the Elder Melder, and you'll now have the ability to meld decorations. The Elder Melder is usually not worth the time or effort to meld decorations, and you're almost always better off simply completing quests and praying for a decent decoration. However, the Elder Melder can also meld items and monster parts using rare prints you'll get from the weekly limited bounty. You should do your best to complete these limited bounties whenever you can, as they can provide you an assured rare monster material. It's often very convenient to just head to the Elder Melder and use a gold or celestial Wyvernian print to get a rare material you may need without having to farm a monster and just hope for the best. Resume gathering Rathian tracks and hunting monsters until you've completed the investigation. Once you've completed the research level, you should return to Astera. Talk to the citizens of Astera, and then accept the assigned quest, Old World Monster in the New World, to hunt Pink Rathian. Once you've finished hunting Pink Rathian, return to Astera for cutscenes. You'll be given a new assignment of an expedition into the Everstream. Pink Rathian gates off the 4th and penultimate upgrade to the Defender weapon. You should get at least 1 Pink Rathian scale plus from your hunt. If you're the most unlucky person in the world,
damn, I got a 4.0.
you can resort to the new optional 7-star quests, Pretty in Pink, or a Cherry Wind upon the Reefs to hunt additional Pink Rathian. Once you have the required Pink Rathian Scale Plus, upgrade your Defender weapon to the 4th level. If you received a Rathian Spike Plus as a reward or a tail carve from your mandatory Pink Rathian hunt, you can feel free to forge a Feline Rathian Rapier Alpha for your Palico. This is a marginal upgrade over the Feline Pookie Bow Alpha, but you can feel free to take it. After your upgrade, you should head to the Everstream in an expedition. Follow the Admiral around the Elder's Recess and then spot Dodogama, Lavasioth, and Uragan. Now run around the Elder's Recess looking for signs of Nergigante. You'll likely need to return to Astera and then return to the Elder's Recess again to gather enough tracks to unlock the next assigned quest, a Wound and a Thirst. While you're gathering Nergigante tracks, you can forge some optional armor upgrades if you want. This should be considered extremely optional, but if you'd like armor upgrades, you can build a high-rank luxury set. For Greatsword, our goals will be Focus, Punishing Draw, and as much affinity as we can get from skills like Critical Draw, Weakness Exploit, or Critical Eye. Odogaron's 2-piece set bonus is Punishing Draw. This will add some extra oomph to your draw attacks and is easy to incorporate. You should look at forging the Odogaron Male Beta, the Odogaron Vambraces Beta, the Odogaron Coil Alpha, and the Odogaron Greaves Alpha. Wearing 2 pieces of this set will unlock Punishing Draw. Greatsword gets a lot of value out of Punishing Draw, so incorporating 2 pieces is strongly recommended. Next up are Diablos and Black Diablos in Wildspire Wastes. You should prioritize hunting Diablos for the Diablos Helm Beta and Diablos Coil Alpha. These 2 pieces will give you Critical Draw level 3, which will guarantee that every attack will be a critical hit when you're using the Defender Greatsword. You'll also get Bludgeoner from the 2-piece set bonus, which increases your attack power as your weapon.
Oh, sure.
This is free and a decent set bonus, so it's a win-win here. Black Diablos has additional focus options for your consideration. The
Why
Diablos
did I
Nero
switch
Helmet
from
and
sniper?
Diablos Nero Braces will provide you with level 3 focus, and the set bonus of Bludgeoner. This is a nice focus alternative. Diablos has the materials for a few strong charm options.
Oh, he didn't even rev that shit up.
Charm 1 for critical draw, and the focus
Great.
charm 1 for focus.
Playing with a
Charms are
bunch
strong
of
options for
assholes.
high and master rank. The focus charm should be the priority if you're using the Diablos pieces for critical draw. You should pair the focus charm with the Juratorius Greaves for level 3 focus. If you're opting to forego critical draw, you can choose to hunt Rathalos for the Rathalos male beta for weakness exploit. You can also forge the Greaves alpha for weakness exploit and jump master. Now you'll be well equipped to take on the final monsters of high rank.
Oh shit, they really is jumping like that. It doesn't matter. I beat up that sweet business guy. That nigga wasn't shooting right. Oh shit. Let's do this. Good shit. Oh my god, they really is. Yeah, it's a 3 stack, that's why. Great.
The best money we've ever had. With a different kind of money comes a different kind of cards. Crypto.com Visa card, powered by crypto. Reserve yours now.
Once you've completed the investigation, return to Astera. Speak to the commander and the handler, and then accept the quest, a wound, and a thirst. After besting Nergigante, you'll be tasked with taking on 3 additional Elder Dragons. You can tackle these Elder Dragons in whatever order that you see fit. You'll have to go through the same process as with Pink Rathian and Nergigante. Start by talking to everyone around Astera. Once you're finished, head to the smithy. Upgrade your defender weapon to the final tier using one
seriously, these niggas are steady in one little area, all packed up, fucking each other in the ass. Great.
The Eater of Elders, until you get a single Immortal Dragon skill. Once you do, upgrade your defender weapon to the final tier. If you're opting to just push through high rank to get to Iceborne's content, you're
Shit.
effectively done with the smithy at this point. The final Elder Dragon sets are strong offerings depending on your weapon.
Oh, great.
Not worth the time to
It don't never change that somebody got to use a fucking ice super because they can't not play. I like this game because, well, 1-to-1.
It's time to tackle something optional, but strongly recommended. You've likely seen Basil Juice earlier in high rank as he flies in and carpet bombs the area while you're preoccupied with another monster. Basil Juice does actually have an equipment upgrade that is a bit obtuse to get, as it's neither a weapon or armor. You'll want to hunt Basil Juice until you get 2 Basil Juice talents. You can now combine your Power Charm and a Basil Juice talent to make a Power Talon. This provides an even more powerful attack bonus than the Power Charm. In fact, the Power Talon also stacks with the Power Charm, meaning once you craft the Power Talon, you should purchase a new Power Charm in Astera. All of this also applies to the Armor Charm. Combine your Armor Charm with the...
Oh, Jesus, sitting in a corner like a little hoe.
Purchase a new Armor Charm from the Astera stockpile. Once you have all 4 charms and talents, say goodbye to those 4 inventory slots for the rest of the game. From here on out, keep these in your inventory at all times. Return to Astera and speak to the field team leader. Now start an expedition in the ancient forest to gather tracks for Kushala Daura. Once you've completed the investigation, return to the chief ecologist and then head back to the field team leader. Now accept the quest for Kushala Daura, Dragon of Steel, and hunt it in the Elder's Recess. Return to Astera and speak to the Huntsman. Now start an expedition in Wildspire Waste to gather tracks for Teostra. Once you've completed the investigation, return to the chief ecologist and then head back to the Huntsman. Now accept the quest for Teostra, the Infernal, and hunt it in the Elder's Recess. Teostra holds the upgrade materials for the Draw Charm. You can upgrade it now to level 2, or come back to farm high-rank Teostra at a later point with superior gear options. This is a reasonable pickup for Draw-style greatsword. Head to the research base and talk to the 3rd Fleet Master. Now go on an expedition into the Rotten Vale. Gather tracks in the Rotten Vale to complete the investigation. If you prefer a paralysis weapon for your Palico, you can hunt a Great Gyros while doing this investigation to get an Omniplegia sack. Then hunt and carve Hornitars in the Rotten Vale for monster broth, and use a Great Hornfly to build a Kitty of the Valley Rod Alpha for your Palico. Once you've gathered enough tracks to complete the investigation, return to Astera to speak to the Chief Ecologist. Then head to the research base and speak to the 3rd Fleet Master again. Now accept the quest for Hellish Fiend Valhazak and hunt it in the Rotten Vale. If you've gathered enough materials from your mandatory Valhazak hunt, you can upgrade your Focus Charm to level 2. This is always something that you can come back to and is not required currently. Most of the builds in Master Rank will incorporate level 3 Focus without the use of your charm, but feel free to consider this an option for you to forge. After beating all 3 of the Elder Dragons, return to Astera. You'll be given a lot of exposition and dialogue. When you regain control, speak to the Handler and accept the Convergence. Here you'll have to hunt the final boss of Monster Hunter World, Xeno'jiiva, in the Everstream. After beating Xeno'jiiva, you'll have finished the main story of the base game. You'll gain the ability to color your armor via armor pigments, and most importantly, equip a 2nd specialized tool. The Health Booster and Vitality Mantle are your recommended specialized tools at this point. These are adequate for general purpose hunting for the rest of the game. There will be additional specialized tools you can unlock by completing additional quests in low and high rank at your convenience. Once you're back in Astera, you'll get several cutscenes and then the credits will roll. Once the credits are over, you'll get a notification to start the Iceborne expansion by talking to the Feisty Fiver at the main gate of Astera. You'll also be given several new optional quests as part of game updates and crossover content. You can do these quests whenever you see fit, but they become available as soon as you've crushed Xeno'jiiva and completed the main story. You'll likely want to do the Teostra questline from the Huntsman to hunt Teostra and Wildspire Wastes in the quest, The Blazing Sun. Then you'll want to complete the follow-up quest, Pandora's Arena. Finally, you'll be awarded the Temporal Mantle after beating Lunestra and Teostra in the final quest in the chain, No Remorse, No Surrender. The Temporal Mantle is extremely powerful and will be a very strong choice as one of your 2 specialized tools, even after it's been significantly nerfed. If you're struggling with No Remorse, No Surrender, you can always come back to this after you have superior Master Rank weapons and armor, which should make it significantly easier. The Witcher crossover event is also worth doing, mostly because if you complete it correctly while keeping the Pookie Pookie alive, you will be rewarded with another Attack Jewel 1. This is a great pickup for all weapon types. If you're struggling to keep the Pookie alive, you can consider coming back with Master Rank gear and trying again. This attack decoration is a very nice pickup for filling level 1 decoration slots when you don't have many decorations, so it's worth picking up. Keeping the Pookie alive can be difficult, however, and this is a fairly lengthy quest. Bring life powders and dust of life to heal the Pookie, and save your Ignis for when the Jaggers show up. You'll be finished high rank at this point. You likely will need to come back at various points to farm for high rank materials to upgrade the weapon trees for master rank weapons. You can also do the optional quest to gain access to extra specialized tools and Palico gadgets. However, it's more efficient to move into master rank and then come back to do various farming with superior weapons and armor from master rank. For Greatsword, there are a few extra charm options you can consider forging from endgame high rank. Earplugs is a nice skill for Greatsword, but it's very difficult to incorporate without the Earplug Charm 3. You'll need to hunt tempered threat level 2-star monsters or greater for the required Dragon Core ore before you can build this. This means spending quite a bit of extra time in high rank. Forging this Earplug Charm 3 is strongly recommended if you want to incorporate earplugs into your build. It just gives you a ton more build diversity and equipment options. The first level of the Handicraft Charm was technically available after you beat Zora Magdaros, but you can upgrade it to the 3rd level now. You'll need research commission tickets, and these are only available as quest rewards from the very hardest quests in high rank. These include the Sapphire Star's Guidance, to hunt a Tempered Kushala Daura, Tempered Teostra, and Tempered Nergigante. Research commission tickets are also available from the White Winds of the New World. These quests require completing the vast majority of the optional quests in high rank, if not all of them, so it's safe to come back to these charms later. You can also get someone else to post these quests for you if you're playing online to get research commission tickets without being able to post the quest yourself. These charms are strong, but you can always feel free to come back to them later. It's time to move on to Master Rank. Master Rank will be quite a jarring experience if you're starting from a fresh character and flew through low and high rank. You'll be forced to spend a lot of time farming the same monsters multiple times for upgrades to your weapons and armor. Long gone are the days of a single common upgrade material giving you a dramatic weapon upgrade. The first assignments in Master Rank are all done in Expedition mode, which means you shouldn't have a card limit and can hunt the required monsters with very low risk of failure. Start Iceborne by talking to the feisty Fiver by Astera's main gate. Now follow the tracks with the Handler. Now watch the cutscenes and continue onwards. Once you're finally in Hoarfrost Reach, you'll be given the Direwolf and the Feline Duffel set for your Palico. These will be automatically equipped to you and your Palico. The Feline Duffel hood and coat for your Palico are free and will be sufficient to get through Master Rank, so that's pretty convenient. You'll then have to hunt Diatotis before gaining access to your new hub, Celiana. Diatotis has reasonable gear and weapon options for several weapon types. You can always return to this later, so for now, just continue on to Celiana. You'll want to talk to everyone around Celiana to get situated. You should prioritize the 2nd Fleet Master to be given an Expert Jewel +4. This provides level 2 critical eye when placed in a new Master Rank exclusive level 4 decoration slot. These level 4 decorations
Bitch had a fucking...
This decoration provides 10% affinity, making it appealing for all weapon types. You should incorporate this decoration into every single armor set. If you can build the Bio Helm Beta Plus or the Bio Mail Beta Plus from your required hunt, it is worth picking up. It's a defensive increase over the Guardian or Defender armor, and you can immediately socket in that Expert Jewel +4 into the level 4 decoration slot. Now you'll be required to head back to another expedition into Hoarfrost Reach. Follow the Handler and hit up any gathering points and mini nodes until
shut up.
A Banbaro will bust through, and you'll never guess what you have to do. Hunt this Banbaro, you'll complete the assignment.
Now, oh wow.
The same steps as before.
There's running into a town like full of fucking ice users. Great.
Make sure you're stocked up with antidotes before leaving. Follow the Handler and speak to the first Wyvernian. Now continue following the Handler until you find a Viper Tobi Kadachi. Hunt this, and then return to Celiana once you've finished. You can kind of mark this as the true start of Master Rank. Now you won't have freebie hunts from being in Expedition mode. We're back to quests. After various cutscenes, you'll be sent back to Astera. Talk to everyone, but specifically the Elder Melder. You'll be given optional quests for The Great Jaggers Returns and Jirya in My Way. Regardless of your current armor situation from high rank, it's time to upgrade. The Great Jagras set works very well as a baseline armor set for all weapon types. Its master rank defenses alone make it worth using in this early stage of the game. It's an easy and quick to build set because Great Jagras is a fast and painless hunt. You'll need to hunt Great Jagras multiple times to build this set. After your first completion of the Great Jagras turns, head back to the Elder Melder and speak with her to be awarded with an Ice Res Jewel Plus.
Great, I gotta deal with fucking
but there are quite a few new
nail launcher users and every fucking
choose to
thing.
socket this into your gear at your discretion. Now continue to hunt Great Jagras until you've built the entire set. I would recommend the full Beta Plus version of the Great Jagras set here. This is simply because level 4 decorations are strong and fairly common. You will gather many from both optional quests and as rewards from completing hunts. If you're coming from an existing character who has spent a lot of time at endgame in Monster Hunter World with a robust decoration roster, you'll have significantly more customization options than a fresh player. If you have rare decorations for focus and critical draw, you should prioritize using them in your sets to reach the skill cap if you won't via your equipment. Having access to these skills and decorations does improve your equipment options. There aren't really any godly decorations for Greatsword besides the standard Blademaster Suite and Protective Fallen. Handicraft decorations will be nice for endgame builds if you're interested in going for a maximum damage build, as most of those require level 5 handicraft. This guy is going to assume that you have no decorations and simply use the ones given outright or as quest rewards. You should definitely fill out all of your decoration slots with decorations, regardless of quality. General recommendations for
Jesus
Christ,
seriously.
are as follows. For offensive skills, any kind of affinity boosting skill that you can get. Critical Draw, Critical Eye, and Weakness Exploit are all great options. Critical Boost has very strong synergy with high affinity builds and can be incorporated provided you have the sockets for them. Affinity is a much stronger option in Master Rank than Basic Attack, as most weapons have much higher raw damage, meaning critical hits are much more valuable because...
How the fuck did he get that shit off at it? Okay, whatever. They're literally lying off certain shit.
For defensive skills, health boost for increased maximum HP independent of food or nutrient buffs is a strong offering. Divine Blessing is also a solid choice for fairly regular damage reduction. Speed Eating is also a strong skill as it allows you to chug Mega Potions very quickly to heal up after a hit and get back into the fight. Finally, Stun Resistance is a reasonable pickup as it can negate the ability to get
Oh sure, what the fuck ever.
Master Rank monsters are fast, strong, and combo heavy, and incorporating Stun Resistance and other defensive skills into your build is never a bad idea. Greatsword can actually guard, but you should only ever resort to it when you're in a really bad situation. You should never incorporate guard or guard up into your set. You should look at your decoration list and do your best to incorporate the skills that you want. As a general rule, it's usually better to push towards maxing out a skill rather than having several
All they running is fucking special. Can't kill nobody with a fucking primary though.
Make sure that those decoration slots are filled. The great news here is that your
Oh great, got double team.
your strongest option for quite some time.
Makes it a lot easier.
Greatsword 5 is going to be your
And
strongest
the whole
option
team's
for
full
quite
of
some time.
ice.
The first set of early Master Rank weapons are simply not better or worse than the Defender Sword 5, they're just a little different. However, Puki's Datura Hellspine is a reasonable pickup. You will lose some raw damage and sharpness, but you'll gain a level 1 and level 2 socket, making it worthwhile. You'll be trading poison for blast, which is generally positive. With poison, you can give your Palico a paralysis weapon for some extra opportunities for critical draw attacks or true charge.
Sure.
It also upgrades into a very strong greatsword, so you should build it, but you can hold off for now if you prefer the high raw damage of the Defender Greatsword. First things first, talk to the Elder Melder. You should get quests for Bugger Off Bugs and a Queen at Heart. You'll have to hunt Hornetars and Vespoids in the Rotten Vale for Bugger Off Bugs. Once you've completed the quest, you should have received at least one Monster Essence. Combining this with a Great Hornfly and an Ultraplegia sack from your mandatory Viper Toby Kadachi hunt, you can forge a Kitty of the Valley Rod Alpha Plus for your Palico. You can stick with Poison for now, but this will be a good pairing with your next weapon. Now return to the Celiana Melder and you'll be rewarded with an Anti-Para Jewel +4 for completing Bugger Off Bugs. After that quest, you should be swimming with both Vespoid and Hornetar parts. You can look at building the Vespoid Greaves Beta Plus to regain some critical draw. Now you can tackle the next Elder Melder quest, a Queen at Heart, to hunt a Rathian. You can build your Palico a Feline Rathian Rapier Alpha Plus if you receive the Rathian Stir Spike after the hunt, but you will be building a poison weapon for yourself shortly. After the hunt, return to the Celiana Melder. You'll receive an Antidote Jewel plus 4. You should now hunt Pookie Pookies to build a Datura Hellspine. As stated previously, you'll take an initial damage hit, but this can be upgraded again, whereas the Defender Greatsword dies out. The sockets do make this quite worth it, and poison is preferable to blast at this point. The Defender Greatsword has served us well, it's time to retire it. Hunt Pookie Pookies until you can forge a Datura Hellspine 1. Thankfully, you can forge this with exclusively Master Rank materials. No need to go back and farm other ranks of Pookie Pookie here. If your Palico is using a poison weapon, it's recommended at this point to switch it to the Kitty of the Valley Rod Alpha Plus. Poisons don't stack, so only one person ever needs a poison weapon while in group situations. With a new weapon, it's a good idea to do some further armor customization. Just like in high rank, Juratotus' offerings are strong for focus. You should complete the Elder Melder's quest for Juria in My Way to be rewarded with your Meyer Walker Jewel.
Sure.
And you should resume farming Juratotus. The armor pieces to look at here are the Juria Helm Beta Plus and the Juria
Yeah, and team like they can't grab his own.
It kind of depends on your decoration and other gear options. You should pair the Juratotus Greaves with the Kestodon Guards to max out focus. Again, both the Alpha Plus and Beta Plus versions have their pluses and minuses. You can mix and match the Kestodon Guards and Juria Greaves Alpha and Beta versions to try out some different socket options. Pink Rathian has a few extra pieces to consider. The Rathhard Male Beta Plus is a very strong general purpose chest with Tool Specialist level 2 and